Hiya folks, how you doing? Figured I'd make you guys a new video. Ain't made one in a while for you. About the, since they're revisiting the O.J. Simpson thing, you know what I mean? Figured I'd make the video, clarify it up for you, what really happened. Now the first question that comes to mind, everybody's mind is, did O.J. kill Nicole Brown Simpson? No. Was O.J. there when she got killed? Yes. Does O.J. know everything? Yes. So what really happened? Why did Nicole Brown Simpson die? I mean, ultimately, can you blame O.J.? No. She's a grown woman, make her own decisions. So it all has to do with drugs and the mafia, as well as hate groups, because California is the #1 state for hate groups in the United States, and some of those people that were involved in the activity of the trial behind the scenes were deeply embedded in some highly ideological racist hate groups, and they want to use OJ as a patsy, as a plan. And so it started out that they wanted to use, like, okay, for instance, OJ, of course, you know, was in the NFL, and he was one of the very best running backs ever. But he was also very well liked because he had a real cool personality. And so when he would be around like owners and bigwigs and people, you know, in the setup, they would talk about stuff to, you know, around OJ, and that gave OJ inside information as to what was going on with the teams. So OJ and his buddy Al Cowlings, they, you know, after football and stuff like that, OJ got into movies. He was like the very first African American male to get into just major blockbuster films. Plus, he did a Hertz commercial. He was just a very, very popular person. And so, you know, he just living life, living large. You know, he's O.J. Simpson, you know. And he has buddy Al Cowlings. They're good friends. They always were good friends. And Al Cowlings also kind of helped out with the dissemination of the information that OJ would learn when he would be around the owners and stuff like that in the NFL. And then, so OJ was accosted by the mob, the mafia, that is, and the actual Sicilian mafia. And they were like, look, you know, OJ, you the man, blah, 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 blah. Give us this information that you got, you know. We can make a bunch of money off of that and gambling. And some of these mob members were, you know, embedded also in the secret government, like in the CIA and stuff like that. The strongest connection that OJ had in that was named Joey Ippolito, who was a officer, a major officer in the CIA, but he also was Sicilian mafia. And so OJ would give information to Joey Ippolito, and Joey Ippolito made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars off the information that OJ gave him by betting on games, and he would win because of the inside information that he had. And what that did was that gave OJ a way into the mafia to be somewhat made. So you can say he's made, but if you know anything about Sicilian mafia, if you really ain't in the family and they tell you that you're made, forget about it. You know what I mean? So OJ, his girl. So OJ also, now he started working in the mafia. He started, well, first of all, OJ was a major player in this BCCI. That was the Bank of Commerce and Credit International. He was partners in that venture with Robert Shapiro, Robert Kardashian, I think F. Lee Bailey, and a couple other people were involved in that venture, and of course there was a bunch of fraud that went on in the BCCI. The nickname for it is the Bank of Crooks and Credit International, and subsequently all the activity that happened in the BCCI is what caused the SNL scandal and the SNL collapse back at that time period. So, everybody kind of kept their mouth shut and whatever, so that just kind of made OJ a little bit more made in the setup, but they lost a bunch of money. So, he's OJ. He makes a lot of money off films. He gets money from NFL pension, no worries, but, you're a baller. You want to keep on being a baller. The philosophy of ballerness is be more and more of a baller, right? So, OJ got into drugs, selling drugs for the mafia, and he was basically, like a bigwig, say middle level, a little bit lower than middle level, but that's a lot of money. It's a lot of product that's passing back and forth between, through OJ. So everything's going along fine, but his wife, she likes to get high, and that's cool, whatever. But she started doing a lot of drugs, and they kind of started fucking with her head. And she, also people that do too much cocaine, they generally have personality problems. So they both kind of had personality clashes with each other. Energy spiking and somewhat, I guess you could even say, manic states where you're so elated and happy one day or at one time, and then you're just totally down and dumps the next. Because when you do too much drugs, that's what happens to you. So she started talking to some of OJ's contacts and getting into business for herself, and that kind of caused a rift between her and OJ, and they was kind of fighting over that kind of shit, stuff like that, and kind of caused them to break up a couple times or whatever. It just caused problems because she just basically circumvented him, going straight to the contacts and making her own deals. And so she got into debt because she was kind of, she just used to being taken care of and used to having enough money. So it got to the point, she would rent islands for the weekend with a yacht, invite 100 people, bowls of cocaine all around the goddamn yacht and shit, and just, kept doing shit like that. And after a while, the money, the dope that you get in front of it, you're using up too much of it. Then it happens again, you're using up too much of it. Then it happens again, you're using up too much of it. Now all of a sudden, when you get your shipment and you make the money back to pay the people who gave you the dope, you don't got enough money. So you got to get OJ to cover the difference. So he covers the difference. So that happens, several times, and it gets to the point to where also she was getting what the mob considered to be dangerous, because she would run her mouth, and she hung out at this restaurant with all these people, including Ron Goldman, at this restaurant in LA called the Mezzaluna. That was like the little clique. And she just liked to just get, they just get high, get drunk, whatever, sit in the Mezzaluna, run their mouths. And so word started getting around about stuff she was talking about. And there were people that didn't really want that information to be just floating around out there freely like that in conversations. And these are the people that, you know, are in the, you know, it's getting to the point to where people who are officers, quote unquote officers in the mob, you know, like capos, lieutenants and stuff like that, were getting wind of the fact that she's just running her mouth all the time. And they're like, you know, well, it's OJ's wife, he's made, so we'll just talk to him, he'll get her together, we don't got anything to worry about. So they did that. He talked to her, but she wants to be like, she wants to, you know, at first, well, she just basically wants to fight over it, you know, telling him, you know, she's gonna be arrogant about it. So, but he goes ahead and covers it, you know, as much as he can. And it got to the point to where he didn't have enough money to actually cover her debts. But they let that slide. But what they couldn't let slide is that she wouldn't shut up. She just kept running her mouth about shit. And they would test her to see, and she would talk too much. And so they were like, look, OJ, it's to the point to where, you know, she keeps fucking up the money. She keeps running her fucking mouth. I mean, we ain't gonna do nothing to you, but, you know, she gonna have to go. And OJ was like, nah, that's my wife, you know, I love her, and, you know, don't do that, and, you know, she's the mother of my kids, and blah, 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 you know. They were like, all right, OJ, man, you better get her, you know, you better get that bitch together and shit, you know what I'm saying? But after he talked to her so many times about the shit, she still kept doing it. So they made the decision, the irrevocable decision, that she's getting whacked. And so that was it. It's a done deal. It's over. She's getting whacked. And then the other elements is that the other players surrounding the trial, and well, anyway, I'll tell you real quick. So when they wound up going ahead and killing her, they just had basically a mafia dude that just loved to kill people, and he went there to slight her, he was gonna just cut her up, you know, and then Ron Goldman was there, so they killed him, because they also had planned to kill all of her friends from the Mezzaluna anyway. So him being there was just a bonus because they was gonna kill him anyway. He just was there at that particular time. He was coming over and shit. So and so then OJ happened to show up because he knew about when it was gonna happen, so he tried to save her and shit. That's how his hand got cut. And it was like, look, motherfucker, you ain't got nothing to do with it. We done told you, you know. And they didn't, you know, untrue to their word, you know, they didn't kill OJ, you know, because they still wanted to use OJ for certain reasons, for reasons of, for patchy reasons, for the dope. They wanted to basically frame him for any bullshit that Nicole might have been running her mouth about. So that was the plan. So they killed her, and then, you know, they went through all that shit, and then Ron Goldman's father even worked for, he did some work for the mob that OJ was running drugs for. So see, that's how Ron Goldman's father knows a lot of the inside shit that was going on, and was able to get that civil conviction against OJ, painting the picture like, you know, OJ basically had something to do with, you know, Ron Goldman's death, which he really didn't. But the way, you know, Fred Goldman, or Ron Goldman's father, you know, painted the picture, ultimately, it made it look like OJ's associations. I think they got OJ on a bullshit, some shoes on a photo. You see what I'm saying? That's some racist bullshit right there. But that's what happened. So basically, you know, just what it boils down to is it's just that, you know, OJ wanted to, you know, be made, be in the mob, be a baller, be a G. And that's what basically got him fucked up, you know what I'm saying? And then he didn't learn his lesson. You know, they still had it in for him, you know, and he just kept hanging out with the wrong people. And that's why he's in jail for another 12, 15, 19 years or something like that, because he couldn't leave the wrong people alone. If he'd have left those people alone, the ones he was hanging out with, and just went on ahead and lived a normal life to itself, he wouldn't be in jail today for kidnapping and assault with a weapon and all that kind of shit, because that was a setup. So, because it was all about race in the first place, because you got, big, black, athletic, strong, man, white, blonde, woman, innocent, that's the archetypes of the media. And that's the white man's number one fear on the entire planet is the black dick, the black penis. He doesn't fear anything more than that. That's the reason why white men make guns, because the guns that they make are black dicks. They can run around with their own black dick. That's why every other movie on television or every other TV show is about guns, Law and Order, and, shit like that. It's basically it's white men with black dicks, potent, powerful weapon. You see, so that's what they fear the most. That's why they're always trying to kill black men, always trying to oppress them, and always trying to do every single thing they can to oppress black men. That's the white supremacists. And the white supremacists are incredibly smart, incredibly powerful, and they might be the smartest motherfuckers ever on the planet, because they got the whole world to go along with the religion of white supremacy. That's some ingenious shit, But people say, well, how do they do that? That's because white people are related by blood, by consanguinity, by actual blood relationship, genetically, to the demon world. And demons are highly, 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 highly intelligent. And the way demons operate is they'll disconnect you from the spirit. And once they disconnect you from the spirit, if you let them, then they're going to beat you. Because without your connection to the spirit, they have more power than you do. Now, if you stay connected to the spirit, they don't. That's why you see you see example like one man like Gandhi, or one man like Martin Luther King, shutting down the whole demon world. You see, so. But anyway, that's the story of OJ, and that he didn't do it. He even wrote a book. Remember Faye Resnick, after they kill all of Nicole's friends that hang out at the Mezzaluna. They killed them all. All of them wound up dying. And even the manager that they used to hang out with, that motherfucker went to like some remote island or something like that, and they found him down there. Then they couldn't find him anymore. They killed them all. And the only one left was Faye Resnick, who she wrote that book saying OJ did it, but then she got on Oprah, and that saved her life because she got in the public eye. So they didn't touch her because it would have been too fucked up to kill her. So she saved her life by writing that dumbass book she wrote. But they pretty much killed all the people that hung out around Nicole. So because they all knew it was too much inside information that they all knew, and they just wanted to eliminate the trail. So let's see. So yeah, so that's what happened. So you see the black, you see more cops killing black men and all that kind of shit. So they got to come out with then they got Bill Cosby, So okay, well we're gonna go out and we're gonna kill niggers, and then to compensate for it, we'll get Bill Cosby. See, he did something too. See, this is how the white man works. It's how deranged it is. So they basically just are in the throes of the beginning of the end of their power too. So the power is slipping. The amount of power they have in the world is slipping, and Barack Obama represents that. And so they have to do something. So they come out with the people versus O.J. Simpson, once again, and that's just, it was all part of the plan in the first place to keep the races separated, because say for instance, like right now, like the number one white girl in the world, Taylor Swift, what's the biggest controversy you see right now? It's Taylor Swift and Kanye West, you know. And you know, and anybody got any brains knows that Kanye West fucked Taylor Swift. But, you know, they just can't admit that shit. Oh no, you see what I'm saying? They just can't do it. The ultimate country white girl, you know, falls in love with the black dick. But that's what they do. Because there's videos on YouTube, I can't find them anymore, but they tell the story that if a black man can get his sperm in a white girl, it hypnotizes her. So you just think about how many white women are out there walking around hypnotized. So they just suck the black dick. Millions of them. And they cooking dinner for their white husband. See? So it's wonderful and it's tragic. It's tragic that it has to be like that. It's wonderful because, well, you know, the white man used to do what he used to do to the little kids when they were slaves. He would have sex orgies and rape 4, 5, and 6 year old kids. I mean, you seen 12 Years a Slave. The white man was carrying that little kid around with him, a little 5-year-old girl. You don't get away with nothing. You reap what you sow. You walk to karma. See? So, you know, so the white man's power slipping. He's losing his white woman to the black man. White women prefer black males. It's just that simple. And then if the sperm gets inside of them, they're hypnotized forever. So there you have it, the story of OJ. All right.